Hello and welcome. My name is Radi Georg, the host and producer of the Soul Filler podcast. As a spiritual life coach, my calling is to make spirituality a way of living, to integrate spirituality into the modern material world, to share my love and experience, to introduce you to experts with different backgrounds, life coaches, spiritual mentors, doctors, entrepreneurs, trainers, and other individuals who are mastering the life journey with joy and ease. Every week, my guests and I will share tools and tricks to elevate the life's journey, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Since I launched the podcast, I have been asked so many times when it will be the time for a solo episode. So here we go. Today, I would like to share with you part of my journey, my work, my calling, and how exactly the name of the podcast was born. So let's start at the beginning. Once upon a time. Okay, well, I was born and raised as an only child in a small town in the south of Bulgaria, in a family that society would label as a normal family. An occasional slap from time to time is not considered violence in Eastern Europe. It is just the norm of average upbringing. Well, at least many years ago. This is the way I and many other children learned how to behave and how not to, how to look and be in general, so that it will be acceptable in the family, the community, and society. So, this is how I have been programmed to become a good looking, independent superachiever. I have learned that to be accepted, to feel safe, to be loved, and to belong, I must follow some particular rules. And of course, I followed them. I performed excellently at school, graduated from a prestigious university, married, became a mother, and built a family, developed my career, continued my education, earned a doctoral degree, and built my own business. So, to summarize, I had it all. Imagine that beautiful picture of a dream life, a happy family, an amazing husband, a beautiful, healthy child, a cozy home, an excellent education, a successful career and business, and more than enough money to live a wonderful life. It sounds great, isn't it? Well, the truth is that I felt miserable, like I was living someone else's life. I remember how the happiest I felt every day was the 30-minute drive in the morning from home to work and the 30-minute drive back in the evening. And I was crying during every single drive because it was the only time I spent alone with myself. All my thoughts were overflowing, and I couldn't stop the feelings that were created as a result. I felt unfulfilled and tried to achieve more and more because I believed that if I had more of those things, I would be happy. But all of this was only an effective distraction. So, this is how my personal and spiritual development journey started more than 10 years ago. I was looking for ways to achieve happiness through books, TED Talks, workshops, webinars, seminars, and podcasts. And all of them helped me so much to reconnect with myself, to find my genuine way to fulfillment and happiness. So that is why I want to give something back, to serve, to share everything I learned on my way, and to support other people in their journey to authenticity and happiness. With my podcasts, with one-to-one coaching sessions, with online programs and courses, with different events, retreats, books, and so on. I truly believe that everybody can be happy and full of joy and love if they remove the layers of conditioning that they adopted in childhood and to reconnect to their authentic selves. Can you imagine how the whole world will be if each and everybody was pure love and joy? This is not only my story, this is what happens to all of us. We were conditioned in our childhood, and as we grow up, we cannot be happy because we play being someone else. And of course, we try to fill the emptiness in our lives with different material possessions, achievements, education, work, sex, sports, addictions. But they are only distractions. That's why there are more and more burnout cases. And that's why the consumption of alcohol, cigarettes, and other drugs is excessive. It's scary how normalized that becomes, right? That's why more and more eating disorders are developing. That's why plastic and aesthetic treatments and the addiction to them have emerged. This is how the name of the podcast was inspired. Beside my work as a dentist, I was also trained and worked as an aesthetic injector. So I had the pleasure of working with many beautiful people who wanted to be even more beautiful. So I was allowed to be the artist who sculptured their faces. For those of you who aren't familiar with the techniques of cosmetic medicine, we use not only botulinum toxin, known as Botox, to prevent aging and the appearance of wrinkles, but we also use the so-called dermal fillers. Dermal fillers are products that we inject to remove wrinkles from the face, restore lost volume, to change the form of some parts of the face, for example, the lips, chins, cheeks, and so on. So, to simply summarize, those fillers are used to fill parts of the face and the body where something is, let's say, not enough. And over the years, there have been many patients who wanted more and more of those fillers. And it was never enough. And it can never be. Because there is something else, something way deeper than a wrinkle that is craving to be filled. And here comes the Soul Filler podcast to support every single soul that still believes that something isn't enough. The Soul Filler is about all the things we think we need, about the things we actually need, about the fact that as long we long for something to fill our empty lives with, and don't see that everything we need is already within, we can't be truly happy just because nothing from the outside can be enough unless we find the completeness within us. There is more about this topic to come from me and my show. Always, always remember that you are enough. You matter. You are seen. You are accepted. And you are so loved. Let that be your life mantra. Thank you for listening and being part of the Soul Filler experience. If you know someone who could like this episode, feel free to share it and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week. Much love.